All right, welcome guys. How y'all doing tonight? Thanks for sharing your Monday. I usually say Tuesday, I almost said it. Thank you for sharing your Monday night with us. We are so excited that you're here. My name is Shannon Weimer. I am an executive director, almost presidential director with LifeWave. Thank you. You can tell we got lots of fans in the room. I've been with LifeWave for about 2 years, and this has completely changed my life. And I cannot wait for y'all to hear about how it's changing some others as well. We have our amazing senior presidential directors that are here from Florida that are going to come up in a little while and talk to you guys about this amazing little patch. You're not even going to believe it. Buckle up. But in the meantime, I'm really nervous a little bit, so I'll shake it off. Whew, I just blew in from Michigan at about 2 p.m. today, so thank y'all for your patience, as we normally don't have technical difficulties. But anyway.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for y'all being here. Give yourselves an applause. If this is your first time here, we are really excited that you're here because you're going to hear about some phenomenal testimonies and stories and things that are happening in people with this little patch, whether it's financially, physically, or spiritually. Community is a big deal right now, so I see a lot of familiar faces, and I'm glad that you guys are here. Just to kind of give you guys a little bit tiny snapshot on myself. 2 years ago, I decided to take a chance. Never even sat in a room like this with y'all. I just didn't even see or touch the product. I heard about it. I heard a few testimonies, and I said, sign me up. I knew right away that the Lord was up to something big and that the world needed it. And I knew that, and I had a dream and a hope that it would start to inspire and change the people's lives of the people I love. And many people in this room are part of that, because many people in this room I already know and love. So it's working. And physically, you'll hear lots of different testimonies. I can tell you every single one of these things has happened to me. Some of them happen in the first week, some of them happen in the first month, some of them continue to happen every day. So you're going to hear a little bit about that. But my biggest testimony that I have, it's always about the mama or the children, right? My mother was diagnosed with COPD 6 years ago. And about 6 months on the patch, she did not have to use an inhaler anymore. This is the same mama that would come visit me and couldn't go walk up to the Amicalola Falls, and it broke my heart. This is the same mama that as a kid, we used to go to the same concert. I won't even tell you who it was because y'all laugh at me, but same concert 15 times we went every year. It was our tradition. So we did things. And when she got COPD, she couldn't do those anymore. Well, I can tell you she's been on this little sticker for 2 years, and she can do all those things. She can do anything she wants to. She's off all her medications, her lungs are regenerating, she just got her scans back, her lobes are shrinking, her doctors don't know what's going on. There is no cure for COPD, which I can tell you we don't actually make any medical claims, and they're going to talk a little bit about that. This patch does not cure, treat any illness. It puts your body into motion. But I can tell you what, it did something for her, because I got my mama back, and that is a big deal. It's awesome. So we have a couple other testimonies that we're going to allow people to give just a short little bit before we dive into the presentation, because really this is all about what is your story going to be. That's what I'm always after when I talk to people. Hey, if you believe that this little sticker will work or not, I don't even care if you believe it. I just want your testimony. I want to know what it does for you, because I know it works. I don't need you to know it works. I just want your testimony, because then you'll know it works and you'll talk to other people. So we have we have quite a few of those in the room, but a few that I've already talked to that we're going to share. Who wants to go first? No. Nobody ever wants to go first. Actually, Nino, can I bring you up first? Because I know you're ready. So Nino and Marty have been, and Nino's awesome. He's got a phenomenal testimony.
Thank you, Shannon.
You're so welcome.
All right, so when I was young, growing up, I was always into sports. I was into wrestling, baseball, weightlifting, all this kind of thing. When I turned around 30 years old, I had my first son, and one day I had him in his little car seat, and I bent over to put him in the car, and my back went out. And ever since then, for like the past 23 years, at least once, twice, 3 times a year, my back would go out, I would be out for a week. So I feel like my kids really missed out on seeing the active me Because anytime they want to do something with me, I'd be like, oh no, sorry kids, I can't, my back might go out. You know, my wife used to have to carry my baggage in the airport, you know, things like that, just very emasculating type things. And then about a year ago, our friends, the Stampers, Max and Jennifer, gave some patches to my wife because they said, you know, that they helped Max stop snoring, and I was a big snorer as well. So I started wearing the patches, and lo and behold, my snoring went down. But also, I've been praying for a cure for my back for years. And, you know, I believe that God healed my back, and I believe He did it through the patches. Slowly but surely, my back started feeling better. I started getting back into the gym. I started working out, started being active with my kids again. And this last July 4th, I ran a 10K. So my back's totally healed, so praise God. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yay.
Isn't that,
Wow.
can you hear that? Isn't that amazing, you guys? And you know, your story has been so powerful, just to see your, especially your wife, be like, uh-oh, can he do that? And then now he's running all these 10Ks and doing all these things. It's just amazing. I think you were pulling a refrigerator out to the curb a month ago, right? He never would have been able to do that. So glory be to God and these miracle little patches. So sometimes you have a physical ailment that you get to get rid of with these patches. But other times, where's Sarah? Where's she at? Other times you're a person who really likes to push it in the gym. And you need that, or you're an athlete, and you need that extra edge. And my friend Sarah is going to come up. She has, I know she's rolling her eyes at me. She has one of the most amazing, she broke, well, I'll let her tell it, but come on up here, Sarah. I love your testimony. Because you don't have to be broken to benefit. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the muscles.
I know, right? Sarah Connor, right here now.
So I started the patches back in October of last year, and I had the same things were happening over the first few weeks. Honestly, I'm pretty healthy. I mean, I eat pretty well, I exercise, I take it seriously. So I wasn't really expecting anything major, and then I started to realize I had a whole bunch of normal, that had become normal for me, that weren't normal. So, but a big one for me was I do Orange Theory, and they do benchmark workouts. So you'll do like a 500-meter row, and you're competing with everybody in your studio. So that means everybody that goes there, not just the ones in your class. And I've always really pushed it with the benchmarks. I mean, I want to do better. I'm always trying to beat my last time, but not necessarily everybody else's. So we did the 500-meter row. I've been on the patches about maybe 3 months, and I beat my time by a couple seconds, but then I beat every woman in the studio, every age group, and I beat most of the men. The only age group that I did not beat was the 30 to 40-year-olds and the 40 to 50-year-olds. I beat the 20 to 29-year-olds, and I beat anybody over 50. I'm 50. So I basically beat anybody over 50 and over, and then the 20 to 29. So, funny thing though, I told my 16-year-old about it, and he goes, that's not a big deal. The 20-year-olds, they don't care about PRs. So I was like, okay. So, and then the other things, just a couple little things, they seem little now because I don't have them anymore, but I had some like numbness in my left foot. So even when I was pushing it in the gym and stuff, I'd always be aware of that pain in my left foot, just a numbness, or if I'd be walking around the grocery store, it would start to bother me. I stopped running on the treadmill because of it, and that numbness started going away, and I wasn't even noticing that it was going away. I just could wear heels again, and things that I hadn't been doing. And then now, I would say it's probably 95% gone completely. Every once in a while, I'll get like a little tingle, but not the pain that I used to get. So that had become a new normal for me. This is kind of a crazy one, but my front teeth have gotten very smooth. They used to have these grooves in them. So my teeth are actually like growing enamel. And that was another thing that had just become my normal, was that those grooves in my teeth. And now they're like completely smooth now. But I do want to share my mom's testimony. She's not here. She lives in Florida. But another big reason why I actually started wanting to sell the patches and to be involved in the business was my parents. Both of them, my mom's 76, my dad's 80. My dad has lots of health problems. My mom's pretty active and healthy, but she was on about 7 different medications. My dad's on several medications. So I was just like, you just try them. I gave her patches. I wasn't even thinking about selling it to them. I just gave them to her. I'm like, you gotta try these, you gotta use these. She starts telling me I'm sleeping better, she's telling me all these things. But she was diagnosed with stage 3 kidney disease last May of 2023. She started the patches in November of 2023. She didn't change anything else in her routine, supplements, none of that. In May of 2024, she had all of her charts redone and she has 0 kidney disease.
Come on. That's huge.
And she's also off all of her medications now, including blood thinner. She's not taking any medication now.
Tell her she looks 10 years younger.
Oh my gosh.
She does.
For real.
For real, yeah.
For real.
Her,
You just saw her,
everything.
and I'm like, your mom's getting younger. I'm Sarah's husband, just to get
Thank you, Sarah. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. I totally just love it. I'll tell you, every day it gets better and better doing this. So I'm so glad that you guys are here. I have one more real quick I want to share because we also have a lot of younger people on the patches, and they're not necessarily in the room because if y'all didn't know, a lot of them just went back to college. So they are college athletes, but Hillary has a daughter who is breaking all kinds of records and things. So I'm gonna just all the things that she's doing. But Hillary's gonna come share about her daughter and then we'll get started, so.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Isn't she beautiful?
You're sweet. Thank you. So my daughter, she is a freshman at a D1 school, and I'll just keep the school private because I want to talk about her head coach. So a little bit, we started the patches for her in November because she had committed to a college and I wanted to give her every opportunity to improve her physical fitness and just be ready. And within 3 days, we were like, wow, like she had the most amazing workouts. We could see that she was just on, she was solid, she was not tired, she just was great. So fast forward, we talked with her coach. He had a big event coming up and he had a really sore knee. And I said, well, I think you need these patches. And so he used them, took them on this journey, this long, it's like a marathon every day. We sat down with him a few months ago and talked with him, and he said that he is a firm believer. He would love to see the university adopt these for all sports, but he didn't really want to officially endorse just because he wants to have the university's backing, but he was like, I think these are the best thing ever. And the next day, he told the entire team all about everything you're about to hear. He pretty much did a full presentation to the girls. And that day, my daughter got a concussion in practice. Well, she's a goalie. So she said, Mom, I didn't know the day of the week. I didn't know, I was out of it. But she said an hour and a half later, I felt completely normal.
Wow.
So that is huge. So for her, and I have a few other girls on a different SEC team, soccer, and they're doing amazing things. So we love Lifeway.
For all of them, yes, thank you, Hillary. And this is happening very quickly. My school does not have them yet, and it's not even in the SEC. So I've already informed some people that, I want, if you're going to be in the SEC and be doing these patches, I got to get my boys in blue up north getting on them too. You know what I mean? So
Or not.
Or not. Yeah, we got an Alabama fan down here now. So, well, thank you guys so these are just some of the powerful testimonies that you are going to hear. A few more in a little while, but we have some amazing friends, our senior presidential directors. That is the highest rank in the company. I'm going to let them talk about how they got there, but Cathie and Carl Firestone are the most amazing leaders. You guys have landed in a phenomenal place if you decide to be a part of this team. They love big. They do all the things for us. They come up here all the time because their son goes to college here. So just give a warm welcome for Cathie and Carl Firestone.
So do you see?
Oh yeah, on you as well. But this helps them hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're recording, so they're gonna put these on, and then if you guys can hear them, you don't have, whatever you decide. If they can hear you.
Can y'all
If they
hear
can hear
us?
you without,
Is it on?
whatever you decide.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having us, Atlanta. Did I score big? I scored big.
It's mutual.
I keep praying that the Lord will keep those stem cells out of her eyes, because if her sight improves, I'm toast.
We're so glad to be here. Thank y'all for sharing your Monday with us. Again, if you're brand new tonight, welcome. We were brand new just over 2 years ago when we got a phone call from some dear friends of ours in South Florida. We live in Orlando area. And we hadn't heard from them in a while, but the question they asked us was, hey, Carl and Cath, what do you know about stem cells? And Carl was on the phone, and I was sitting across, and he said, well, that's a strange question. Why are you asking us that? And I said, well, we found something. And so he put Steve on speaker, so I'm hearing it, and I kind of knew where it was going. In the classroom, I'm going, no. But Carl, being Carl, because, friends do what friends do, right? That's why all of you are here tonight, because a friend invited you and thought enough of you to be here, right? So Carl listened, and it was intriguing, and I will admit I was intrigued. I was skeptical, but I was intrigued. So if you're skeptical tonight, I get it. We were both skeptical. We should be skeptical in this day and age, right? Because there are a whole lot of things that we've been sold for years and years and years that don't do what they claim to do. This little technology does what it claims to do, and that's what we've learned over the last 2 years.
And you guys, we just want to firstly give all honor, glory, and praise to the Lord, because, my buddy down in Texas put it this way. He goes, Carl, sometimes the Lord uses spit and mud to heal the people, right? And he doesn't have to, but sometimes he does, and sometimes he uses X39, a sticker. I was having a hard time with this. I was like, when we received the product in, I was looking at this thing, I'm thinking, how in the world can it be doing everything that these people are saying that it's doing? You guys, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
It is breaking all the records. We are #1 out of 6,000 companies in our industry right now, and nobody knows about it yet.
Right.
So if you're thinking like I'm thinking, as a business person, I'm seeing opportunity all over this. And let me tell you, people are hurting in our country right now, not only physically, but financially.
Yeah.
And it's putting a lot of stress on families and marriages. And we like to say we're helping marriages and mortgages, right?
Save them both.
Because people need help right now. And we're reactivating the stem cells and the wallets.
Yeah.
So we're excited to share with you.
Absolutely. So we're going to get started. We're going to follow our flip chart here,
Right
which
up
keeps
here.
us honest and on track.
Yep.
And we'll be out of here in 3-4 hours tops. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect. There we go.
This one?
So everybody's been patched, right? If you're brand new tonight, everybody's gotten a patch? Great. All right.
Okay.
And then, do you have the clicker?
I do.
Awesome.
Would you like it?
No, go right ahead. So what we're going to talk about tonight is this little amazing technology called X39, okay? And this is a stem cell reactivation patch, and it's incredible. And so we're going to talk about the parent company behind X39, which is called LifeWave, and then we're going to talk in detail about how this works, share some more testimonies, and then, like Carl mentioned, go into the opportunity side, which is just as important as what the patch does for people physically. And Shannon already said it, but I'm going to say it one more time because it's really important. Because the reality is what we have our hands on is so special and so unique that we want to protect it. So this technology does not cure, treat, heal, prevent, mitigate anything. What it does, in its simplest terms, the simplest way I know how to describe it, is it puts your body in a natural reboot. And then your body can do what we believe God intended all of our bodies to do, and that's heal itself. And Carl and I have what we call a miracle inbox, and Shannon has one, and Marty and Nino have one, and Hillary has one. And I'm telling you what, if you're brand new tonight, you want a miracle inbox. You want to get texts and emails every single day from people that you know and people that you don't know, because they're friends of people that you know, who say, and it always starts out the same way, hey, Carl and Cathie, you're not going to believe this. I'm going to tell you, after 2 years of doing this, I believe it all, because your stem cells are incredible, and they can do anything.
You guys.
When you reactivate them, I'm sorry, when you reactivate them, Katie, bar the door.
It's incredidible, and in the beginning, we had started off slow for me especially, and about 2 weeks in or so, was it a little longer, your hip?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. So I'm being faithful, and she's patch, just keep patching, just keep patching. And about 5 weeks in, it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, one morning, she jumped out of bed like a loaded spring, scared
Never
me half to
happened.
death.
If you know me, I don't get out of bed at 5 in the morning for anything.
Yeah.
So-
She had chronic hip pain for a long time, and she was considering going to see an ortho because it was getting worse and worse and worse. And 5 weeks in, she jumps out, my hip pain's gone, my hip pain's gone.
Yeah.
And I woke up out of a dead sleep, and I'm like, what in the world is going on, you know? And so I got up, I started thinking about it, and I was noticing a little better energy, a little sleeping better, so I was feeling good about that, but I had suffered from migraines for 50 years. Weekly recurring migraines that put me out. I was in bed all day, hot showers, ice packs, the whole 9 yards, okay? They did all the scans, testing, all that. Couldn't help me. 50 years of that, you guys, and the months were going on. I was patching faithfully, month after month after month, and about 5 months in, I was telling Cathie, I said, Cathie, I just really wish that it would touch these migraines. And she said, Carl, keep patching. David, the inventor, says that we have to wear the product for a month of every decade of age we are to get the full benefit. So she said, be patient, it's coming. So I was just hopeful, and I kept patching. Right about that 6 or 7 month time frame, you guys, I got my miracle. And a couple weeks went by, and I was like, wait a minute. My migraines are letting up. In frequency, intensity, they're letting up. So I told her about the 3rd week. I said, Cathie, this is happening. It's really getting better. And you guys, so I can proudly report that after 50 years of migraines, I don't get them anymore. Weekly migraines. And the weeks seem longer to me because I'm getting an extra day back per week. It's just remarkable. So I'm so thankful to you for keeping me, persistent and consistent. And you guys, what has happened over the last 2 years for us is just, it's incredible, because we just said, okay, if this is doing this for us, we know a lot of people that are hurting, and with their physical body, their financial issues, and we just started patching the people. We just started patching friends and neighbors and co-workers, and everybody we came across, they would see the patch on us. They would start usually asking questions like, hey, what happened? You hurt your hand? And it started a conversation. And we would just patch them and then point them. That's a big tip. We wouldn't say too much about the science or the product, any of that. We would point them to the website that we're going to share with you tonight and let it do all the work. But David, we've met him, the inventor. David Schmidt, you guys, world-class individual, loves the Lord with all his heart, which is important to us. And he shares that from stage openly and gives him all the credit for what he's been able to develop here. And he is a genius. He is an absolute genius. 150 plus, that slide needs to be updated again. 150 plus patents.
That he personally holds.
Yes.
Right? So Carl had a patent back in the 90s, and I know what it took for him to get that one patent. We've been married for 28 years this December, together for 29 years. So in that time, we've been through a lot, and he won't tell you this, but I will. So Carl's been an entrepreneur his entire life. He's owned 7 businesses across 4 different sectors of the economy. He's owned 2 global construction companies, a small manufacturing company. He did a traditional franchise here in the US. Most recently, he had a contracting company in Orlando and did home renovation and repair. And I can honestly tell you, in the almost 30 years we've been together, I have never, ever seen him as excited and as passionate and as driven about a business as he is about this. And why is that? Well, there's a number of reasons, and he'll go into that in a bit. But the bottom line is this works. And David, he's exactly right. David is a genius. And he specializes in age reversing. Isn't that cool? age reversing. And in 2008, he focused his attention specifically on stem cell research. And this technology took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. So David has grit, he has stick-to-itiveness.
Yes.
Thank God he didn't quit at year 9, right? He pushed through. So that's a lesson for all of us in that if you've been wearing the technology for a while and you're not noticing anything yet, keep patching.
Yes, David says that 96 to 97% of the people that are consistent and faithful with the patch will see a benefit. Those are good numbers, you guys. And you may not feel your benefit. Another testimony I had that I had no idea was happening, she saw it. I'm a contractor for many years on the concrete all day long, right? And I developed spider veins on my feet. Hundreds of spider veins over the years, just, you know, they're ugly. And I never paid attention to my feet, didn't want to look at my ugly spider vein feet. About 6-7 months in, right about the time where the migraines left me, she walks by my chair one night and my feet are up and she goes, "Carl, what happened to your feet?" And I'm like, "What? Nothing. What's wrong with my feet?" She goes, "Your spider veins are gone." You guys, I didn't feel that.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. She had to see it. And I was like, wait a minute. That's happening all the way down at my feet. What's happening with my heart and my brain and my lungs and all the systems? You guys, stem cells work on everything. What we have our hands on is really, this is bigger than I can describe in words. Your stem cells, my stem cells, our stem cells, when we were first conceived, our first cell was a stem cell, right? And then it developed into all the tissue and bones and organs and blood and hair and eyes. Aren't we miracles?
Yeah.
Praise God. I mean, we were a stem cell. And when you increase your stem cell activity in your body, because I didn't know this either till Steve told us, he said, "Carl, by the time you're 30, you've lost half your stem cell activity." And when he said that, I started doing the math in my head. I'm like,
Because we're a little older than 30. Just
I said, "Steve, I'm almost 60. What about me?" He goes, "Carl, it's not good news." He said, "You've got 2 left and they're at the time clock right now." And I'm like, "Oh, great. And I said, "Sign me up." I said, "This sounds expensive." He goes, "It's $3.30 a day." I said, "Wow." I said, "You know how much a stem cell injection costs, you guys? Thousands, and for the good ones, tens of thousands. And there's no money back guarantee. You have to get more than 1 injection usually. And if they don't work, 40% of the time they don't work, 100% of the time they still take your money."
And, good point right here, you don't know where those stem cells are coming from.
Yes.
They're not yours, by and large, right? And so, and the other thing with injections is they stay localized. So if you get a stem cell injection for, you know, issues with your shoulder, those injected stem cells are going to stay right there in your shoulder. They're not going to go anywhere. This technology, this works systemically. So you can put the patch anywhere, and when your stem cells are reactivated, they're going to go throughout your body and take care of all of the stuff that needs to be taken care of, some of which you'll know about and some of which you won't. So there's the patent. We have a copy of it right here. Patent. Patent means protection. It means exclusivity. And so you can see there's the US patent number. You can take a picture of that slide. You can Google it. You can read it in its entirety if you'd like to. Patents are not easy to obtain, right? You have to prove to the US Patent Office that your concept, your technology, your product is novel, and that more importantly, it does what it says it's going to do, right? So this one you can see was issued in July of 2020. So we had just under 17 years of complete exclusivity. A patent is powerful because nobody else can touch what LifeWave does. And if you go out on the street right now and you ask 10 people, "Hey, have you ever heard of X39?" 9.5 of them are going to say, "What?" So this is the sweet spot because this is a proven technology, but the market's not saturated. It's exactly where you want to be if you're looking at an opportunity. So the paragraph in the top left is the abstract, that's the summary. And we pulled out an excerpt there, which is important. It says, embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide. So any science geeks, like I call myself, science nerds in the house that kind of want to Google stuff like that. So if you Google copper peptide, you can literally read for the next year. Decades of work, research, white papers, if you will, double-blind, placebo-controlled studies on copper peptide and what it does in the body. As we age, along with other things, it diminishes. But this technology elevates your copper peptide. And one of the amazing things that happens when you elevate copper peptide in your body is that it reactivates your own dormant stem cells. So Carl mentioned, you want to, is this the flipper?
Sure.
There we go. So why would anybody want to wear this? This technology, we've talked a little bit about that. The fewer stem cells we have, the faster we age, the slower we heal, right? Think about when you were a little kid and you fell and you scraped your knee. Pretty much by that night, you were golden, right? You were good to go, because as children, we have trillions of stem cells. But when we're older, and I look at my dad, who's 78, he's a car guy, so he's constantly on his back in his garage at 78, even though I tell him that's probably not a real good idea anymore. But he gets a scrape or a cut, and it's a big deal. And he gets it, and it's there for weeks and sometimes longer, because his stem cell activity is so much less than it used to be. So hundreds of millions of people that we all know, and a lot of us here in this room are experiencing those symptoms of aging. And like Carl said, by 30, half of the stem cells you were born with are dormant. 50%. By 60, almost 100% of them are dormant. So the good news is they're still there. The not so good news is they aren't doing anything for us anymore until this technology, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really good, Cathie. Well, that's what Steve shared with us too, guys. He was a pro athlete for 25 years. He had 14, if you can believe it, major surgeries as a pro athlete and afterwards. Can you imagine? I mean, this guy was beat up, and we knew Steve for a long time. He's short-term relatives on Cathie's side. And he said, Carl, I've been on the patch 2 weeks. I'm off. He used to take handfuls of Advil and Excedrin. He's off all that stuff in 2 weeks. And he said, more importantly, 2 of my athlete buddies were hooked on some very serious pharmaceutical painkillers. In 2 weeks, they're off of it with no side effects, pain-free in 2 weeks. And I'm like, what is going on? It's your stem cells.
Yeah.
And he said none of the team doctors ever told him that, Steve, as we age, our stem cells slow down and they go stagnant, but we know now, right? And now we can do something about it, you guys. It feels so good to feel so much better and to get your health and your quality of life back. People are hungry for this. And they're hungry for the opportunity side as well. It's an opportunity of a lifetime that's tied to this.
Yeah.
Okay, so people are getting free from that as well.
Yep,
So
absolutely. So how does it work? That's what I wanted to know.
it's simple. I'm an old contractor, so it's got to be simple.
Yeah.
Right? Or I couldn't do it. She comes to me with all these white papers, and my eyes go sideways, and I'm like, what was that? Just slap the patch on the back of my neck, please. Right?
It's so cool,
It's
though.
fascinating. I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah, he's doing a lot better, actually. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy, which just means light therapy. Light therapy has been used for hundreds of years, right? Best analogy I can give you is what happens when we go out into direct sunlight. So we go out into direct sunlight, our body harnesses the energy from the sun, a chemical reaction takes place internally, and our vitamin D levels elevate. That's light therapy. The scientific term is photobiomodulation. If any science
There she goes again.
geeks in the house, if you want to look that up. So what happens with the patch, and again, David's just a genius. So you peel the paper off. This is non-transdermal, by the way, which for anyone that's brand new is really important, because you may know of other patches, nicotine patches, pain patches, birth control patches. All of those patches are what we call transdermal, meaning there's something that's going into your skin and into your body. Some type of pharmaceutical, some type of nutrition, some type of chemical. These are non-transdermal. Nothing goes into your body, nothing, which is great because there's no contraindications, right? So in the very center of that patch, you can see it's more opaque. Inside that, completely encapsulated, is patented nanocrystal technology. Now don't panic. And when I heard nanocrystal, I was like, no. Because that just, that whole crystal thing kind of gives off a weird vibe, so to speak. But nano just means really, really small. And David describes it as a crystalline structure. Think of a lattice, right? And inside that center portion of the patch is a combination of amino acids, sugar, salts, and hydrogen, all from organic plants in a very specific configuration. So when you peel the paper and you put the patch on anywhere, we don't need an external energy source like the sun in the vitamin D example. Why? Because we all were designed by God to emit heat and light 24/7. Think about the last war movie you saw, and hopefully it's the good guys with the night vision goggles, and they can see the bad guys in the jet black of night. Why? Because we all emit a low-level infrared light, and that's what those night vision goggles pick up on. So what happens when you put the patch on, your light leaves your body, it hits that patch, and that crystalline structure acts like a really sophisticated mirror, and it reflects the specific frequency and wavelength of your own light back into your tissue. And when that happens, your copper peptide is elevated, and the clinical studies are there to prove that copper peptide is elevated, and that reactivates your dormant stem cells. It's crazy technology, but it's so easy to slap on this patch.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not asking people to change their lifestyle, right? And this is what I love. A lot of contractors, they're not interested in all that, right? They're busy, they're dead tired at the end of the day. But if I could convince them to slap a patch on the back of their neck, change their life, they'll do it, right, you guys? So she said it's a sophisticated mirror. So instead of photobiomodulation, I say it's a sophisticated mirror, right? So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
But it works. It's just, you don't need to know all that stuff, but it's fascinating that he can take a very specific wavelength of light and do all these incredible things in the body. It's remarkable. So non-invasive. I love that part, and it doesn't contraindicate with anything that you might be doing with your doctor, pharmaceutical-wise or anything else. So
Yeah.
here's some of the benefits of X39.
You got it here. This is the short list. These are the things that people tend to experience first. And again, for some people that's days. There are some one-patch wonders. I don't know if we have any one-patch wonders in the room, but there are people who will put the patch on and within hours, they feel something. That is not the norm. We want to set realistic expectations, right? But it does happen. But usually over the course of some weeks, days, weeks, sometimes a month or two, these are the benefits that people tend to notice. So increased strength, reduced inflammation. Anybody here in the medical profession? Nobody? A couple people? Inflammation is not good, right? No. Yeah. So ask anyone you know that's in the medical profession what inflammation does to the body, and they will be able to explain it to you. When you can lower inflammation naturally, amazing things happen. Increased stamina.
Inflammation in the body is like inflation to the pocketbook. Neither one are good,
That's right.
But we got an answer
You
for
can
you.
answer for both.
We got an
That's
answer
right.
for you.
Increased stamina, energy, and vitality. That was my first testimony. So within 10 days, my energy level went through the roof. And for those of you that most of you don't know me, by 9 o'clock at night, I was checked out. I was in bed, I was done. And about 10 days in, it was 11 o'clock at night. He's looking at me going, "What is wrong with you? Why are you still doing laundry? It's 11:30 at night." I'm like, "I don't know. It's got to be the patch." And that's been consistently my story for the last 2 years. The energy is crazy. And it's not a jittery caffeine or sugar energy. It's a peaceful, calm energy, right? It doesn't sound like the 2 or 3 would go together, but that's exactly what it is. It's amazing. Mental clarity. Who on the patch in the room has experienced mental clarity? Look at the
Look
hands.
around you guys. I mean, it's a big deal. Mental clarity,
Huge.
big deal.
Brain fog, gone. I was this, like Gina Merritt will tell you, I was her twin in this. I was a sticky note queen. I had sticky notes everywhere. I should have had stock and Post-it notes. I'm telling you, I had to make a list to go to the grocery store to remember 2 things. I'm not kidding. That's sad. 2 things I couldn't remember. My house doesn't have sticky notes anymore. I have drawers full of sticky notes that I haven't used in the last year, which is amazing. Restored muscle or skeletal conditions, improvement in sleep. Who's sleeping better? Look around. Yeah. Sleep is huge. And our bodies do what when we sleep? You got it. So if you can improve sleep, a lot of wonderful things start to happen. And then improve skin appearance. So that's our son, Luke.
Stand up,
Stand up, Luke. You can stand right there.
We're going to show you off a minute.
Oh,
Stay
you want to
over
come up?
there.
Come on.
Oh, you're coming up? All right.
This is Luke.
Hey, Luke, we talk about Luke a lot on the Zooms, you guys, and we were taking the patch for a while, and one day we asked Luke, would you like to try the X39 for your skin? He was suffering with some very severe cystic acne. I mean, you guys, it was bad.
Yeah.
And he was down in the dumps and sad, rightfully so, and he was in pain. And being a 24-year-old young man, almost, it was really affecting him. And so we said, hey, would you like to try it? We heard some testimonies about skin improvement. You guys.
How long?
5 weeks.
5
weeks from, we could almost overnight see the inflammation and the redness and swelling just going down, down, and down. And his chin was going up, and up, smiling. It was just so wonderful. So that's Luke.
Yeah. Yay! Yep. And skin acne may not sound like a big deal to you, but as a parent, it's huge. And as him, and now he comes downstairs, he's like, Mom, look at my skin. I'm like, I know, I see your skin, right? Huge difference. So, and that's amazing. And fine lines and wrinkles, big improvement. But, we're talking, there are some incredibly serious skin issues that people have seen amazing results with. So
yes.
Nothing's off limits for your stem cells.
That's right. So here's a topography map. This slide is so powerful, you guys. It's a scan of a 77-year-old woman's brain. The first scan with all the red is when she first went in, not wearing X39. Look at all the inflammation they measured in her brain.
Red.
Almost
red
totally
means
red.
Inflammation.
Yes. So within 3 weeks, look what happened to the inflammation levels in her brain. And then 6 weeks, same thing, even better. Cool, blues, and not only in her brain, you guys, the inflammation all throughout her body. Organs, blood, tissue, all that stuff. So, and it's not just her brain and body, it's our brain and body. When your body's, think of everything we throw at ourselves, right? Poor nutrition, poor air, poor water, poor lifestyle, stress. We don't stand a chance, do we, sometimes? But this helps level the playing field for your body. Look what it did for her, 77 years old, and the inflammation drops in 6 weeks to those nice, cool blue levels. It's remarkable.
And this is one of the things that I love about this company. So David's a scientist. That's who he is. Period. He's a scientist and an inventor. And yes, we've heard him speak a number of times, but he is much more comfortable in a lab coat in a lab away from people, okay? But all of his work is quantifiable. So he's looking at blood work, he's looking at urinalysis, he's looking at topography maps, he's looking at a whole host of other things that they have access to. And not just him, but he surrounds himself with an incredible international team of MDs and PhDs, scientists, researchers. The science behind this is rock solid. And we're gonna there's the website right there. So you can take a picture of this page if you want. So these are the long-term benefits. And this is not per Carl and Cath. Again, we are not doctors, we are not scientists. This is per the 80+ clinical case studies that have been done on this technology, right? And this is what happens and what he's proven happens. Within the first few days of wearing X39, 4,000 genes, which I believe is about a third of the genome, 4,000 genes reset. Again, don't panic. When I first heard this, I was a little leery. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want my genes touched by anything. But nothing is happening to your DNA. It's just that as we age, some genes that should stay on switch off. Think of a light switch. And others switch off that should stay on. So what happens when you wear the technology and your copper peptide is elevated and your stem cells come back into play is that 4,000 of your genes reset to a younger, healthier state. As a comparison, there was an article published not too long ago, clinical paper on resveratrol, which you might have heard of. It's been researched for many, many years. It's the good compounds in dark pigmented grapes and in red wine. Really good for your heart. Resveratrol has been proven to reset 2 genes. 2. This technology resets 4,000 within a few days. I can't. I'm sorry. So I will take my patch any day of the week. 4,000 genes within the first few days. Within 6 weeks, our brains become balanced. You want to share Tony's testimony real quick from Ohio?
Which one?
from Ohio?
Well, how about Clark's
Oh, yeah,
Clark's
Clark's
brother?
too. Yeah, go.
From Texas. I was thinking of my friend down in Texas, Houston. His brother, 30 plus years ago, was playing basketball, you guys, outside on a concrete court. Somebody took his legs out from under him when he went up for a layup, hit his head on the concrete. He hasn't been the same since. After 4 or 5 months on the product, he calls Clark. Clark called me 6 o'clock in the morning. Carl, you're not going to believe this. And I said, try me, Clark. We believe anything now. What do you got? And he said, my brother, he said, Clark, my brain feels like a switch went off. I'm back. I'm back. After 30 years. I mean, it's incredible. So stem cells are the answer. And when you can bring those back into play, they know what to do, where to go, when to go there, in what order. You guys, it's all directed by God, right? Our stem cells, they've already got marching orders, and they know what to do and where to go. So
Yeah.
it's the testimonies, you can't hardly believe when you start hearing them. But when you know the people, and you're like, man, you see the person later, and they're looking better, feeling better, doing more. Experience it. I mean, it works. It absolutely works. So it's very heartwarming. This will be the most personally rewarding thing that you ever do. Mark my words. If you stay in it and you're consistent and you work it and share it,
Yeah.
it'll be the most personally rewarding thing you'll ever do. I guarantee it.
Tony, real quick in Ohio, just because it's about this brain balancing thing, and we have her permission to share this story, her story. She had a friend who knew that she suffered from migraines, much like Carl. And so that's why her friend originally shared X39, was because of the migraines. But she also knew that she had lost a son tragically, her 24-year-old son, tragically the year before, and she was not doing well, understandably so, right? And so she shared the patches, she gave her a week's worth. She called her 7 days later and said, hey, how are your headaches? And she's like, yeah, they're better. And she told Carl and I, she said, you know, when I heard her voice, I thought something was different. So she said, well, you're about out of patches. I'm going to bring you another week's worth. So she took her another 7 days. So after that 2-week period, that 14 days, she went to see Tony. And Tony sat down with her and said, I'm going to share something with you. And you don't even know that you had a hand in this. But she handed her a letter. And the letter was her letter explaining that she was planning to take her life. It was her suicide note. She had planned to take her own life.
You guys, within days of her friend sharing the patch with her, she had it. She couldn't take the grief anymore. Powerful. Tell them what happened.
But within that 2 weeks, at the end of that 2 weeks, she shared with the letter with her, and she said nobody knew this, and it was spelled out, y'all. I mean, where her husband was going to be, how. I mean, it was very detailed, and she said, I don't want to do this anymore. She said, I don't know what's in this, but I don't feel like I felt 2 weeks ago. I feel better. Come on. I mean, you can't make this stuff up if you tried. And again, patch didn't do it. Her body did it. But when we give our bodies what our bodies need, our bodies can do incredible things. God designed our bodies to heal. And that's what this does. And when you can be a small part of that, it will completely change your life. And that in alone is enough. Not even talking about the business side, but we can free a whole bunch of people that way too. So that's brain balancing. Within 3 months, your collagen increases. Who hears about collagen every day on your Facebook or Instagram feed, right? It is all over the place. And there are rows and rows of collagen powders and supplements. And I'm looking at the store going, this is not my collagen. My own collagen is increased just by wearing this little
Usually
patch.
animal collagen.
Yeah.
We don't know what kind of animal, if they're good looking animals, we don't know. But just take it, right? Just take that.
No, because, this technology, your own collagen will increase within 3 months. And, collagen's great for skin and hair and all that, but we've now, gotten to know some pretty impressive people who know a lot more than we do. And we've learned that collagen is kind of the matrix that holds our bodies together, right? And so
Dr. Stillman says, MD, he's on our team, LifeWave team, he says, if you know somebody's falling apart, you guys, they're probably low in collagen. Get the patch on them. It'll increase their collagen production. He has more faith in this than the $100,000 red light therapy beds that he has in his location He's an MD. He said, this is incredible, the results that we're seeing. Better results than all that expensive equipment. Okay?
Yeah.
And think of it, that person that takes that therapy, they have to show up his office, spend hours in that facility, taking time away from their family. This is so easy. It's non-invasive. You slap it on, I can still redo your kitchen as a contractor with this on my name. Right? I don't have to go to Dr. Stillman.
Yeah, crazy. And then the big one is within 6 months, and this is clinically proven, and I wouldn't believe it unless I've heard testimonies to prove it. Your heart, your entire cardiovascular system reverses in age.
Stroke
6
victims.
months. We know people that were ready to go in for heart procedures who during their pre-op, their cardiologist pulls them out and says, I don't know what's going on, but you don't need this surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's...
Within a very short time, their hearts are performing better. Okay, and this is quantifiable. They're doing the testing. The doctors are testing it, and they're scratching their head. Do you know that we have cardiologists building the business with us now? A 40-year cardiologist in South Florida had some personal issues himself with his health. He saw his patients coming in wearing X39. What's that? Well, that's my stem cell reactivation patch. Give me some. So he got some. Guess what? He's all in.
Yeah.
And he's given his patients patches, you guys, and seeing remarkable results with wound healing and all, you name it. You name
So
it.
it's not anti-aging, it's
Yeah.
age reversing, and that's a quote directly from David Schmidt, and he's exactly right.
Yeah.
So how do you wear it? It's so easy. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Patches come in what we call a sleeve. It looks like this. There's 30 patches per sleeve, so enough for a person to wear the technology for a full month. This sits by my toothbrush. So every morning when I go in and brush my teeth, that's my reminder to take a patch out, peel the paper, put it on, and then when I go back at night before bed to brush my teeth again, that's my reminder to take my patch off, throw it away, sleep, let my body do all of the amazing things we were created to do while we sleep, and then in the morning start over with a fresh patch. You can wear the patch anywhere. Remember, it's systemic. It's going to work systemically. But the two places where all of the clinical studies were done, because you have to control for variables when you do those studies, are the two spots you see on the screen. So that's 2 inches below the belly button or the base of the back of the neck. But again, you can wear it anywhere. The last point is really important. This technology is most effective when we are well hydrated, and most of us are not. And so the recommendation is half your body weight in ounces. If you can add 20 more ounces on top of that, all the better, and add a good quality electrolyte if you're not getting those trace minerals. So the better hydrated we are, the better the patch works.
It's so simple and very sophisticated, but like I said, I'm a contractor, so we need it simple, right? You remember the old caveman commercials? Even a caveman can do it. I was like, I can do this. This is going to be so much fun, right? So you guys, just share it with your friends. We're not selling them anything. If you know they're hurting, bring it up, put a patch on them. So you got to try this, send them to the website.
Yeah.
Don't answer any questions. Just send them to the website. Say, you need to look for yourself. I'm a contractor. They know I'm not a stem cell biologist, right? When I start talking all those big words, their eyes would go sideways, like, whatever he's on, I'm not doing it. Never heard him talk like this before. But it's the testimonies will get you.
We have 2 more testimonies.
Yes, right now, don't we?
Nana Joe. Come on.
Nana Joe's a little famous around here.
Yes, she is.
I sat too long.
Oh, no, I know. Here, dear.
Patch me.
You want another patch?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm a little bit hoarse today. I started using X39 in May of 2023. I suffer from COPD, which I have for 30 years now, and asthma. And my daughter came to me May 1st, 2023, and she said, I'm going to give you Mother's Day gift a little early this year. And so she told me about the patches, and I said, are you serious? I mean, I was just so not into it and not willing to really use them, but she said, please. And she told me about herself and about her husband, who gave his testimony early in Nino. So I started on the patch, and May 1st, and in the middle of June, by the way, my hair was pure white for Mother's Day. We took pictures that day. and my hair was pure white. In June, I said, what's happening to my hair? I love my white hair and it's turning gray. And it had some streaks. It was turning, it was brown. I don't know if you could see the streaks.
Yeah.
Of brown, my natural color. So she said, Mom, that's the patch. And I was on oxygen a good part of the time, 24/7. I'm hardly ever on it right now.
Come on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Amazing. Amazing.
There's been so many looks to me, the clarity that I have, like many people running from room to room. And what am I here for? You know, and it's very, very annoying. Now I know where I am and I know what I want.
Yes.
I don't have that problem anymore. In 2009, I broke my humerus bone on my wrist. And for many years since then, I could lift my hand, my arm like this, about this high. But if I would try to hang something up in the closet or whatever, no way. Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
these things didn't just happen to be, you know. I'm 85 years old. I drive. I go shopping now by myself.
Yeah.
In February, I don't want to take too much time.
No, you go. You take as much
February,
as
I was sick the second time with COVID and pneumonia. I was in the hospital. I was very, very close to going over to the other side. I say graduating. I'm very close to graduating to the next level. First of all, without my son-in-law and my daughter, I would not have made it. But God heard my plea that I wanted to continue to be here, and He extended my warranty with the patch. So I was very, very sick. I want to say from February till late April. We had a planned trip to go to New York to celebrate my 85th birthday and my sister's 90th, the first weekend of June. So of course when I was sick, I thought, oh, I'm never going to make it, but then I started to feel better. May 1st, I get hit with shingles on my face. And I have pictures of all of this, so you could see. And so we went to urgent care because I thought I had started off like a little thing here. And I thought this was an insect bite. And nurse there said, she looked it up and she said, this is shingles. And so she told me, she was giving me a prescription for pain. She was surprised I wasn't in pain. And she said, once it hits the nerves, you're going to be in severe pain. But go see your primary doctor. So I did that the following day. Same story. Do you have any pain? Really? No pain? Okay, well, take this medicine because it's going to be awful. I stand before you today to tell you I did not have 1 ounce of pain with the shingles on my face. It was so horrible. My whole face was swollen and red and scabby. 1 month later, June 1st, I was holding my great-granddaughter for the first time. My face was clear. I mean, I could just go on and on, but then again...
I heard there was some...
I want to hear about the dancing.
Dancing going.
I loved dancing all my life. That was my thing. And I know my daughter was praying to see me dance again. So one night we were talking, and I put on a salsa record, because that's my thing. And I started to dance. Well, Marty broke down and cried. She said, I never thought I'd see you dancing again. Of course I can't dance a whole song, I'm not going to lie. I could just do a few minutes. And again, did it again at a birthday party. So I just say, I mean, I can tell you more stories, people that I have patched, a cousin of mine, amazing. Another one who has COPD, been suffering for years. She said, thank God that you gave me these patches. She's washing windows and blinds, she tells me. So it's amazing, and it does what they say it does.
Oh,
So I appreciate
thank you.
having it, and we'll be on it for the rest of my life, for sure.
Yep. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
That's awesome. Right? And then Tony, where's Tony? There he is. Come on up. Give Tony a hand.
Come on.
Hey.
Hey, so how do you follow something like
I know,
That's
right?
gonna be tough. I got the worst spot in the house tonight, but, so I've been on the patch almost a month, and the first night, the swelling in the back of my left knee that had been bothering me for quite some time stopped. The pain went away. Within a couple of weeks, my lower back pain that I've been struggling with for over 10 years, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to buy a mattress that when I woke up in the morning, I wouldn't be hurting. And I'd be able to walk just straight out of bed instead of kind of stumble around for the first 10 minutes. 2 weeks later, after patching, my lower back pain was gone.
Come on.
My neck was bothering me really, really bad. I couldn't turn all the way to the right. 2 weeks later, after patching, full range of motion.
Awesome.
Plantar fasciitis, had it for over 5 years, excruciating. If I stood here this long, I'd be standing on the side of my foot so I could talk to you. 3 weeks later, that's gone. So
That's amazing.
it works.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you.
What else do we need to know, right? What else do we need to know? But there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more.
So there's the website with all of the information about the product. And what I love about this site is it's just product information. There's no personal information captured here. So you can send your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues, your circle of influence to this page and say, hey, read about this. They can take a deep dive or a shallow walk, right? Some people want to dig in. Other people, like Shannon, she didn't know anything about it. She didn't read one study. She signed me up and she started patching.
It can actually slow you down if you try to share too much on the product personally. And it's, don't feel bad, we did it too. I mean, we're not pointing fingers, but what we learned is if instead of, sharing it with them personally, just point them to the website, they get the most up-to-date, pertinent information from the man himself and the creator, right? And it frees up our time a little bit.
Right.
So we can just patch and point.
And
right?
they have to come back to you to get the patches, which I love.
Yeah.
So here's the
Just real quick,
opportunity
you guys.
side, real quick. Carl's gonna do this because this is his wheelhouse. This is a 20-year-old company. Lifewave celebrates their 20th anniversary this October 2024. This is the best kept 20-year-old secret you are ever gonna find anywhere. Remember at the beginning I said, this is proven but not saturated? That's key when you're looking at an opportunity, and this man knows because he's done it his whole adult life.
That's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
You guys, that's the sweet spot. So where you're at right now, seeing this in this lousy economy, if you take this seriously and you're persistent, it'll pay dividends, compounding residual income that can free your family. So what does that mean? If you have a goal, if you have a dream, sky's the limit. You can make as much as you want. Okay, Cathie and I, right now as we stand here, we don't make income claims, we don't make medical claims. We have an income disclosure statement you're welcome to review in the company's website. It's there for everybody to see. But for months and months and months and months and months now, we've been making 5 figures a week. Every week.
Crazy.
Freedom, okay? That can take a lot of stress off of a family. Okay?
My
People
goodness,
have nowhere
$500 to $1,000 a week can take a lot of stress off.
What's the number one reason for divorce in our country? Have you guys heard this stat before?
Finances.
It's horrible. I mean, you guys, people are looking around and they don't see opportunity. They're like, what are we going to do? Get another job? A third, fourth, or fifth job? It's not the answer. You're trading your time for dollars. You need to find a way to duplicate yourself and compound your efforts by building a team of people. You get a little piece of the activity of everybody that comes in after you. As a business model, it is the most powerful business model I've ever laid eyes on. And most people won't take the time to unfold it. They'll poo-poo it off. It's this, it's that. I'm telling you, it is the most powerful business model I've ever looked at my entire life, okay?
75 countries. And actually, it's gone up by a few, I think almost 80 now. So you can have a global business from your laptop in your jammies on your couch, right? Because when we're going to sleep, people in Australia are waking up and they want to feel just like we do. They want to feel better. So they're patching while we're sleeping. So
it's not a Me Too product, too. Like Cathie shared earlier, the patent is there. And when you think about this industry, which is quickly approaching $400 billion,
6,000
that's a big industry. And most of it is pills, potions, lotions, and powders, right? Energy drinks, CBD oil, all that stuff. You guys, nobody else has what we have, nor can they, because it's protected. You have patent protected exclusivity for 16 years to bring a river of revenue into your family's household if you choose to. But $500 a week, $1,000 a week, that'll save a lot of marriages and mortgages, you know? And we get those testimonies too, where people are calling us in tears, saying, I didn't know what I was going to do. I had a tax bill I had to pay, or this was coming up. I didn't know what I was going to do. Thank God for my LifeWave income. Okay? This is important. The money monkey that is on people's backs today is getting heavier, and he's got sharp teeth and sharp claws. And we can help knock him off their back, you guys. The stress that people are carrying around in their lives because of lack of financial resources or lack of opportunity is real, and it hurts. Because when we grew up, we heard it every night from our parents who had what we call spirited debates every night about lack of finances. 5 kids in the house, 7 mouths to feed. There's only so much time in the day to get stuff done. So this is a beautiful look at number 1 in the industry now. We're going back and forth 1 and 2 out of 6,000 companies, you guys. 6,000, we're number 1. Who wants to be a part of it? Who wants to be part of number 1, right? We're the number 1 team too, by the way. This is it, team. We are the number 1 team in the entire company. So you're picking a winner inside of a winner, inside of a winning product and leadership team. David Schmidt is a gem. He's a gem. Here's another growth award, number 1 growth award by DSN. They just keep coming and coming.
These are third party, by the way.
Yes.
That rate, all of the 6,000 companies in this industry, call it direct selling, we call it relational marketing, because that's what it is, right? It's an eyeball to eyeball, friends do what friends do kind of business. So what's most important to you? And this question is going to be answered differently by every one of you. For Carl and I, it's God, family, country in that order. But what is it for you? Is it your family? Is it your time freedom? I mean, let's face it, we all know a lot of people who make good money, but do they own their time?
No.
For almost 100% of those people, the answer is no. They don't own their time. And that's what they want back. Because let's face it, the time we have with our children and our grandchildren, we're never going to get that back. Right? So if we can give people their time freedom back, it changes everything. Is it security? Is it travel? So if you like to travel, so I just got home a week ago, 10 days? I don't know. I'm still messed up on the time. So LifeWave, remember, turns 20 this October. So their 20th anniversary incentive trip was a Greek Isles cruise. And we qualified, and my precious husband looked at me because he traveled the world with those other businesses. And frankly, he doesn't want to do that anymore. And so he looked at me and he said, baby, take your mom. My mom is 76 years old. She's never been out of the country. My mom went to Greece with me. My mom climbed the steps to the Acropolis. And when she got to the top, she's crying, and I'm crying. Those are memories that
she was going to have a knee replacement, you guys.
Before the patch.
And she was as stubborn and as skeptical as any of them. And she kept calling, rubbing it in. I'm not feeling nothing. So I would hear Cathie talk, Mom, I love you so much, you have to be patient and persistent. Every day, she's telling me. And I was like, okay, so 4 months go by. The phone rings again. It's your mom, get the phone, Cath, it's your mom. She said, okay, I'm a believer.
Her knee pain went away. And you know what? This is cool. Remember we said your stem cells know what your weakest link is, right? They're going to go to your weakest link. My mom wanted that knee pain to go away really badly, but it took 4.5 months. Well, my mom was diagnosed with Barrett's esophagus 2 years ago, about the time we started patching. And if none of you know what that is, it's lesions in the esophagus, and it's a precursor to something really ugly.
Because of acid reflux.
Because of reflux.
Yeah, it eats away the lining of your esophagus.
So they do an endoscopy, and that's how it's diagnosed. So my mom, just a few months ago, went for her endoscopy appointment, and her gastroenterologist pulls her out, and when she was, awake again, he looked at her and he said, I don't quite know how to tell you this, but you no longer have any lesions in your esophagus. So I said, hey, Mom, maybe, just maybe, that's what your stem cells were working on while you were waiting for your knee pain to go away, right? Yeah. We don't know. But anyway,
so I scored a lot of brownie points.
He scored big points.
Sending her and her mom to Greece. It was pretty cool.
But if you like to travel, this company incentivizes travel like crazy. It's all expenses paid. everybody loves to go on vacation. Nobody likes to pay for it.
So
right?
real quick on the
Yeah,
business.
go ahead, sorry.
That's okay.
Yep, we're running out of
So
time.
real quick, you guys, so the reason I love the business model so much is because it's affordable to the masses. You don't need hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to dump into a business that your chances are not good. 80% of the businesses in our country that start up fail within 3 years. 80%. Okay? You don't have to mortgage the house to do this business. You can get in where you're comfortable. They have different packages from $300 to $1,700. Okay? You get in where you are comfortable, and then get yourself on 2-sleeve subscription auto ship per month. It's $200 a month. That opens you up to all the compensation in the comp plan.
And then you just start patching people.
Now think of that. So we're on 2-sleeve, $200 a month. You remember the earnings we shared? You guys, when you do conventional business and you try to grow that revenue of your conventional business, franchise, construction, whatever it may be, guess what goes up when your revenue goes up? Expenses, headaches, time away from family, all the negatives compound along with it. This doesn't happen this way. This is the beautiful part of this, you guys. If you catch this, you'll understand why we're so excited. You just continue to share, patch and point people, and as your team builds, we've put in just over 60 people personally. Our team has grown to over 62,000 people. We don't know that many people. We don't know that many people.
Because the patch works.
It works. So
If it didn't work,
get it on the
nobody would have
street. Get it on the street and get it on the people that you know, love, and trust, and point them to the website. Some magic can
So
happen.
that's how you get started. This is one of the ways to earn income. You get in, you put 2 people on your left, 2 people on your right.
Yes.
Everybody's on silver or above. And that's a manager. That's the first rank in the business. And then you just repeat that over and over again. You go to each of those 4 and say, who are 4 people you love, Hillary? We're going to get them into the business. And then when she puts those 4 in, we go to each of those 4 people and say, who are 4 people you love, Sarah? And we get them into the business. That's how easy this is. Some people will just be patchers, and we love our customers, and they're wholesale patchers, and they'll be on the patch for the rest of their lives, and they'll never share it with a soul, and that's okay. But some will see what Carl and I saw.
Yeah.
And his eyes were as big as saucers.
It's incredible,
He's like,
you guys.
oh my gosh.
$25,000 a week is where they cap you in team commissions out of all the team that build underneath you. $25,000 a week, that's $1.3 million a year, part-time, on the side. You guys, we're still not working this full-time yet, okay? It's remarkable. There's more money there. Thisisitteam.com is where you can go learn about that. Here's an enrollment sheet.
This is how you get started. So these are in the back. If you're watching this as a replay, maybe somebody texted you a link. Either is fine. Pick the package where you fit best. Silver, gold, diamond. If you just want to patch and see if the product's right for you, silver is where you should start. It's 3 sleeves of X39s, $299 plus shipping and tax. But if you are already thinking in your head of all those people in your life that you want to patch and share this with, gold or diamond is where you need to come in. Those are the packs for business builders.
Yes. And remember these words: subscription equals your residual income. And your team's residual income. So after you get your initial pack taken care of, make sure that you get on and stay on subscriptions so your points can begin to build in your back office and your residual income can begin to build as you build your business.
Right.
That's key. Without it, you just have a conventional business, okay? You made a sale, now you gotta go make another sale and another sale. The beauty of this is the compounding residual nature of it.
And those pack prices that you see, that's a one-time purchase.
Yes.
That's very important. That's a one-time purchase, and then your residual is your 2-sleeve option.
Here's the team site, all kinds of information. This is free too, you guys. You can get an education in business. Another big plus that I love about this business is the training and teaching that you get from entrepreneurs, very successful people that have put this together for us for free. You can go there and learn. Do what they do, get what they get.
Yep.
Okay? Don't go outside the box.
Yep.
If it's not on that site, don't do it. Don't even think about doing it. Think about it and say, nope, Carl said I can't do that. It's not on the site. Go to the site.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, and make sure you stay with the plan, right? It speeds up time for you, speeds up time.
Tools you can purchase. If you got people out of state, out of country, you can mail them patches. There's a strategy involved. It's called the PRO strategy. It's an acronym. Patch, revisit, point people to an opportunity.
That's how we build our business right there. We point people to the live Zooms. There's 6 or 7 of them a week.
Yep.
all throughout the country, different presenters that you're going to relate well to. You'll find somebody you relate really well to, and just keep sending your friends to that presenter, because there's, different people are different. So find somebody that you really respect and love, and you point them there, and that's how we built, 90% of our business? Was just pointing people to the Zooms, because we were busy. I mean, I still had a construction company full-time. She's full-time at work with a kid at home. I mean, it was busy. Life was busy.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, we have our time freedom back, and we want that for you. It's pretty special when you can do that and you can bless other people and help them achieve their dreams too. It's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. So here's our Facebook group. This is it, team. Go there, sign up for that, and then subscribe. All the YouTube channel replays are there, you guys. So we're gonna stick around for a few minutes, help Shannon clean up, and then
answer any questions.
I just got one thing I want to share, if that's okay. Yeah. We love these guys. Give me a hand. You guys are my favorites to watch this. You make it look so easy.
it's easy.
It's that easy. So I just want to add really quick. A year ago, I couldn't pay my mortgage, and now I make enough to pay 5. And I'm a single mom, and I don't have family here in Georgia. So this business has changed my life. I like to add that at the end, so you guys know it's real. For those of you, how many managers or above are in the room?
Yes.
So if you are brand new, this is your first time walking in, all these people are growing the business accidentally, some will even say. And it's really not because they're trying to be business builders, it's just because they see people they love, like their mom, or their friends, or their people that they're trying to save the country with, or whatever it is, or their doctors, and they're saying, hey, just try this patch. So for those of you that are currently brand partners, I want you to know that we have these packs, that they were saying these envelopes, it's a pack of 10 for $5. We're not making any money off of it. We're actually giving it to you for 3 cents less than what we paid. So it's totally at cost. Steve and Gina are uplines above the top uplines, I guess, the grandparents, and they do that too. So we have that here for you guys. There are a few cards. If it's your first time, you can take them. But yeah, you guys feel free. We definitely, if you have any questions, get with the person who brought you, only because I want to start kind of giving people the ability to get from the bathroom and this and that.
Yeah.
In the back, if you guys, if it is your first time and you're ready, there are sign-up sheets back there, and they're here. So if you're a brand partner and you know the drill, grab a clipboard, grab a pen, talk to the person that brought you, and we are so glad that you're here, and I cannot wait to hear your testimony, either on another Zoom, or on one of our training calls, or in a day, in a week, or if you got one right now because you've been patched. Anybody got a testimony already from getting patched right now? It happens. It happens. Go ahead.
Say something, and it came to me this week, and I thought about it. I had so many people tell me, I'm not a salesperson, I'm not a salesperson.
Oh, me neither.
This is not selling.
Yes.
It's sharing. Yeah. And the reason I say that is, there are so many different products that I tell people how much I love and what they do for me. This is the only one where I actually am like saving money. Like I've reduced my supplements. I was taking like 20 different supplements, and now I'm down to 6. So I'm actually spending a lot less money on that, and this is doing the things that, this has really changed my life that way.
It's true.
It upsets me when people see it as that you're selling. It's almost, the doctor who said it's almost criminal not to share it with somebody, because what if this was the thing that helped somebody with a chronic long-term illness or an injury or something, and they were able to get their life back. If we don't share, I mean, I thought that pumpkin spice latte meme was so funny. I mean, everybody, it's like the coming of Christ when the pumpkin spice latte comes, and I'm like,
Sarah, you're making me cry because you're so right. There's people that have come off of, 10, 15 prescriptions, and they're down to 1 or 2 or none, and that in itself is a total savings. So thank you, Sarah. You're so right. We're not selling anything. We're talking about a cup of soup or a favorite meal.
The managers, can we recognize them again?
Sure. If you're a manager, stand up.
Somebody over here.
Oh, do you got a question?
I have a question that I keep coming up again.
Sure.
And it's people that don't trust the medical field.
Yeah.
And they don't trust this. And I don't know how to prove to them that it's transdermal or
The best thing I can tell you is this. The patent states that it's non-transdermal. The clinical studies state that it's non-transdermal.
I can find that on the patent.
Yeah.
Yes, it's on the This Is It info. That's on the back of these cards. And it said there's a whole page dedicated to patents and clinical studies. There's about 15 or 20 clinical studies on there. Anything you can think of that your question, it's been approved by the WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Association, which means if it had anything that was going in your body, WADA wouldn't approve it. Plus I don't know how to say the U.S. Anti-Doping Association, which means that in itself proves it's non-transdermal. Because you can't be an Olympic athlete, you can't be in the NCAA athlete with something that your body absorbs.
Pain, is this on? No. Pain changes everything for people. So an open mind comes when they've had enough pain in their life, whether it's physical or financial. So if they're experiencing any level of pain, the skepticism will fade away when the pain gets more intense. That's what we found. So they'll be more open. Just say, hey, I'm not going to push you. I just thought of you, thought it could benefit you. You might want to take a look at it. It's very reasonably priced. You should try it. We're seeing a lot of friends get wonderful benefit from it. So great question, by the way, but I did want to recognize our managers. I saw a lot of hands. I was like, man, that's amazing. All the managers in the room, could you raise your hand or stand up so we can recognize you? Guys, look at this. This is amazing. That's amazing. How about directors? The next one up is directors. Look at this.
You better stand up. If you're a director, stand up.
Yeah, you gotta stand up. Great job, you guys. Great job. Any senior directors? Next level up?
Not yet.
Any executive directors? You guys, this is big. Third level in the company, right here. Your local rock star, okay? She's on her way to presidential, this close. Last time I checked, this close.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a big deal. So we appreciate your leadership and friendship.
You guys.
And you guys are in good hands, and we love you guys. So praise God.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.